Hi class, so today is the last test prep review before STAR. So on your notes, just pay attention to the boxes. That's where you should be taking notes throughout the discussion, whether it be key terms, formulas, anything like that, but the note boxes should be filled, not left blank. Okay, so personal finance review. A fixed expense is costs that do not change based on the amount that you use. So for example, rent and car payments going to be the same month to month. A variable expense is a cost that does change based on the amount that you use it. So groceries, utilities, right? If you use your AC more during the summer, your bill's going to be higher. And then we also have assets. So assets are items a person owns with monetary value. So that would be, like for example, a savings account, could be jewelry, could be art, your home, a car. And then liabilities is money a person owes. So for example, a loan, like a car loan, school loan, your mortgage, things like that are going to be liabilities. So essentially those count against you. And then your net worth is going to be the value of your assets minus your liabilities. So let's go ahead and take a look. So first one, Marvin makes a list of his assets and liabilities as shown in the table. Identify each item in the table as an asset or a liability. Write A in the first column if it's an asset and L if it's a liability. So let's do that first. So mortgage, asset or liability? Liability. Home value, that's actually going to be the asset portion of your home. Cash, that's right, asset. Savings account, asset. Credit card debt, definitely counting against us, liability. College loan, liability. Car value, that's going to be an asset. Okay, so what is his net worth? So what we need to do to find his net worth is we're going to add all of the assets together, all the liabilities together. And then if you remember and you wrote the information down, net worth is assets minus liabilities. So I'm going to add assets first. So we have the home value, so 179,000. Then I have 250, 4,000. I'm going to write that one next because that one's bigger. And then the car loan. Okay, so 12,500, 4,995.55. So make sure we're lining up our decimal. If it's not there, it's to the right of the number. Since we're adding, we do line up our decimals. And then $250. Adding it all up. 555. Put my decimal. 9 plus 5 is 14. 9 plus 1 is 10. 11, 12. Plus 5 is 17. 9 plus 1 is 10. 16. 7, 8, 9, 1. So 196,745. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and do liabilities in yellow. So 176. Okay. So 174,238. Then I have 18,000. Like I said, I just like to write them in order from largest to smallest. It helps me see them better. And then 6,971.34. Okay, so 0.34. 8 plus 5 is 13, 14. 3 plus 1 is 4, plus 4 is 8. 8 plus 7 is 15. 8, 9, 10, 11, 20. 8, 10, 14, 20. 7, 8, 9, 10. So 200,054. So whoa, notice here that our liabilities are greater than our assets. So 200,054.34 minus 196,745.55. So I'm going to borrow from here. 14 is 5 is 9. I'm going to borrow from here. 12 minus 5 is 7. Borrow here. 13 minus 5 is 8. 4 minus 4 is 0. Have to borrow all the way here. 9, 9, 10. Minus 7 is 3. 9 minus 6 is 3. 9 minus 9 is 0. 1 minus 1 is 0. So it's $3,308.79. This is a negative number because their liabilities are greater than their assets. So they are in debt. They owe more than they have. Not a good position to be in. Okay, next one. So Paxton creates a budget for his monthly expenses as shown in the table. Identify each item in Paxton's budget as fixed expense or variable. In column 1, if the expense is fixed, and then a V, if it's variable. Okay, so let's start out with that. So rent, fixed, that doesn't change. Electricity, TV, internet. So I know electricity changes, TV could change on based on if you rent a movie or things like that. So I'm going to say variable. Food, variable, right? Because you don't eat the same thing every time. Maybe one month you're going to splurge on a steak dinner. The other, you have to eat at McDonald's because you spent money last month. Let's see, transportation. I would say if you have a car, that's going to be variable because, for example, my gas will change. How much money I have to pay for gas changes weekly and monthly based on how far I go. Cell phone, I'm going to say that's fixed. Entertainment, variable. Sometimes you do more fun things than others. And then emergency fund. So that's like I'm saying I'm going to put $10 a month into my emergency fund. So I'm going to say that one's fixed. So based on this, what percent is spent on variable expenses versus fixed? So we know that for percent means proportion, right? We should be setting up a proportion. So I need to find a total. So 5 plus 5 is 10, so that's a 0. Up top, 7, 8, 13. 13 plus 8 is 21. 27. 32, 33. 5 plus 3 is 8. 10, 13. So 1,330. So to find variable expenses, let me add up my variables. So 250 plus 300 is 550 plus 80. Well, I'll just do it how I should. Sorry, variable. is going to be 250 plus 300 plus 80 plus 50. 5 plus 5 is 10, plus 8 is 18, 3, 4, 5, 6, 680. So now I'm going to set up my proportion, right? So 680 is what percent of 1,330? Okay, and then let me just go ahead and do my fixed costs before we solve. So fixed, I said, was rent, so 575 plus 65 plus 10. 5 plus 5 is 10. 7 plus 7, 14, 15, 6. So 650. So this proportion, set it up the same. So 650 out of 1330 equals x over 100. So why don't you guys press pause and solve those two. Okay, so now with all of our work done, we should have found that we could round up. So about 51% of our costs were going to be variable and 49% is fixed. Okay, so now interest. So if someone borrows money, what factors influence how much is paid? So principal is how much is borrowed, rate is the interest charged, and that's an annual rate, and time is how long it's borrowed in years. So the amount to pay back is principal plus the interest, and interest is principal times rate times time, so PRT, and that is a formula on your formula chart. So let's take a look at an example real quick. So Roxanne invests $4,000 into an account. So that's going to be our principal. She pays 4% interest. So rate 4%. How much money will she have after 5 years? So that's our time. 5 years. And we know interest equals principal times rate times time. So one thing that's important, 5 years, it's in years, so we're good. Rate, we actually have to change it from a percent to a decimal. So if it's 4%, to go from percent to a decimal, I'm going to move my decimal 2 places to the left. So it's 0.04. So 4,000 principal times the rate, 0.04 times your time. Hit pause and do your math. Okay, so once our calculations are complete, we find that the interest, so the interest is $800. So after 5 years at a rate of 4%, she'll earn $800 on 4,000. Now pay attention, because if it asks how much will she have in the account after 5 years, what would we have to do? We'd have to take the 4,000 and add her interest, add the 800. So then she'd have $4,800 in her account. Alright, you guys try the other interest problems. I think you'll have a good handle on it.